You know what? I want some chocolate drizzled kale chips.
The little salt on top of that.
Wait a second.
Let's stop.
Okay.
See, why are we tempting ourselves?
Hey, everybody. I'm Elise Rio.
And I'm Isha Bell.
And this is Full Time Black Women, a community for Black professional women to live, laugh, grow, and feel the soul.
So what are we talking about today, Elise?
Today's topic is self-care, corona cabin fever.
Ooh, girl, I got that cabin fever. You got cabin fever. We got cabin fever. We're quarantined.
Hey, I like that. I like that. All right, y'all. So the coronavirus. Coronavirus.
Shit's getting real.
COVID-19. I know. COVID-19 has shut down normal day-to-day activities around the world.
Yes.
Most cities have opted to quarantine its residents in order to fight the spread of the virus, social distancing to the max. And this is maybe the first time in most people's lives something of this magnitude has ever happened.
I know.
It's crazy. 2020 just came in and was like, yo, I'm here.
Right.
This is what's going down. And y'all gonna respect me. Y'all ain't gonna diss me like 2019. Y'all gonna remember 2020.
Right.
Anyway, so we weren't wired to handle this type of stuff, being stuck in one place on our own will, of our own will, just over and over, day in, day out. However, we need to do our part in making sure we are safe. Those we care about are safe. Our neighborhoods are safe. And today we're going to give you some tips on how to provide
Mm-hmm.
some self-care while you're fighting the corona cabin fever.
Yeah. Stay safe.
So according to the news outlets and everything, 150 million Americans, as of the time this is being recorded, what day is it? The 28th, 29th?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's a day I don't have to be in the office.
I know that's right. I lost track of time. But 158 million Americans are told to stay home, stay in the house, don't go nowhere. The street lights are permanently on. You need to be in the house.
Right. Street light.
Right? Yes. So quarantine, that's one of the main words that has been floating around. Everybody is either in quarantine or has been told to do social distancing. So let's discuss what the differences are between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So quarantine is when you have to separate and restrict the movement of people who were exposed to contagious diseases to see if they become sick. So you want to keep them separated just to make sure that the virus doesn't spread. If they do become sick, just kind of keep them away from the rest of the population. So social distancing is just a way for those who aren't sick or those who may be sick, either way, to just keep their distance from people, keep them from interacting closely or frequently enough that might enable the disease to spread.
Thank you so much for defining those, Elise. I guess we can go ahead and get started with those stats for that ass. Hey, stats for that ass. We bringing you the facts with some stats for that ass. Okay, Elise.
What's that?
A recent study from medical journal The Lancet.
Sound good to me.
Okay. Notes that the psychological impact of quarantine can be great, resulting in a range of mental health concerns from anxiety and anger to sleep disturbances, depression, and post-traumatic stress disorder.
I feel like I've had this.
Really? PTSD? You got it already?
I mean, not the PTSD part, but the sleep disturbances and anxiety.
Yeah, me too. My sleep has definitely been off since this all started. Indeed, separate studies of quarantine patients of SARS. Remember that happened?
Yes.
Yeah, that was like 17 years ago. In 2003, there was an outbreak of another form of coronavirus. Found 10 to 29% of people suffer from PTSD.
That's deep.
It is. But wait, there's more.
Oh, gosh.
So the report also found that mental health concerns could be inflamed by stressors associated with quarantine, such as infection, fears, frustration, boredom, inadequate supplies, lack of information, financial loss, and a stigma associated with contracting the disease.
Wow. And I just listening to the news, like I can understand the stigma part with contracting, because I know that a lot of Chinese Americans, Asian Americans, generals have been getting it.
I've been hearing about that.
Just either physical violence or racial slurs and stuff like that. And I read, I think this morning actually, that some folks, who are in Asia right
Mhm.
now or in China were getting it, like foreigners who are there. So like Americans and people from the UK and stuff who are there for whatever reason have been like experiencing people who are running away from them or like don't want them to be in their restaurants or something. Like they're getting it more because they're like these people are bringing it in. Because I think the number of cases of the imported coronavirus had gone up.
Oh, that's been everywhere. Like I think some of the first cases that were reported in Africa were all foreigners.
Yeah.
Who were vacationing or what do they call it? Holiday. They were going on holiday. I don't know if that was Australian or British. I'm sorry.
Know.
So my Britain people, do not hold me accountable for my accents because I tell you, I'll switch between a Mexican, a British, Australian, Swedish, Scottish, and then somehow, some way, I make it back to Ebonics. I don't know.
It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I've definitely been hearing about that. I know some were attacked on subways and
Yeah,
metro
crazy.
stations and stuff like that. And people are like, y'all the ones that started this virus. And
Yeah.
but that just shows the ignorance.
Absolutely.
The ignorance of some people. Come on, you cannot treat a certain group of people a certain way because the virus started somewhere around people who look like them in a way.
Unfortunately, we can quarantine the disease. We can't quarantine ignorance.
No.
Unfortunately.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So let's go ahead and get into some ways and some things people can do to help to promote self-care during these corona times.
Okay.
Combat that corona cabin fever.
Hey. So one of the first ways you can combat corona cabin fever is to create a routine. So I know a lot of us are working from home now if you have been allowed to do so. I know some people are still out there, are essential workers, and we love and respect you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So those that are working from home is really, really tempting because I know I've fallen victim to this, to I can just stretch and roll out of bed.
Mhm.
I can just, turn on the computer and just click, clack away. And, I'll eat whenever I feel like it and da-da-da-da-da.
And you haven't eaten for hours?
Exactly. No, you need to create a routine. So change out of your pajamas, shower, not in that order, shower, and then change. Nope.
You had it right the first time. Cause I'm like, you showered in your pajamas?
No, you're right.
Just
I
gonna
was
knock
thinking of
laundry
changing
out
my
right now,
clothes.
huh?
I know, exactly. I'm a multitask. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so change out of your pajamas, shower, put on some lounge clothes or whatever. Or if you want to get dressed, you want to feel like you're doing something, go ahead.
I ain't wasting my good clothes to be walking around the house,
No, I
especially not with a
understand.
toddler.
I understand.
Have syrup on me
I
and
understand.
ketchup, nuggets stuck in my purse. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But where possible, you want to, when possible, make sure you write out a to-do list of all the things you want to achieve for the day so you can create a sense of normalcy and productivity. Because the worst thing you can do is just allow yourself to fall into boredom or I don't know what to do with myself. I have all this time. You really don't.
No, it's the same 24.
Same 24.
That is true. Okay. So as Lee said, let's start out a routine. So in addition to starting out your routine, you need to break up your day. Okay. You have to look at it in segments. That way you can be productive.
Yeah.
Find tasks to break up your day and where possible, change your environment for different activities.
Okay.
So I know what I've been doing lately since we're not necessarily underneath a quarantine, thankfully, but I'm pretty sure it's coming.
Yeah.
I like to spend my day in the morning showering, getting dressed and stuff, and then I'll go ahead and cook breakfast and nice meals too. Because before it was just I gotta go quick, grab a granola bar or grab coffee or whatever. But now I'm making pancakes.
All right now.
Okay, not waffles. Pancakes.
That takes some extra work.
Exactly. Kind of flipping everything else. And I'm making eggs, omelets, bacon, and whatever you can think of, real restaurant meal.
That
breakfast.
sounds good. I'm coming to your house if I can. No, I can't. Social distancing.
You don't eat pork.
No,
so
I don't.
I guess I could make you a turkey pan, but
a turkey pan.
Yeah, have a pan just to make the turkey.
Oh,
so you ain't mixing it.
I was like, what? What is a turkey pan? I don't know that meat.
But you definitely want to do that. And then, instead of reading on the couch or in my bedroom, I like to sit on the patio.
Oh, that's nice.
So just getting some fresh air, but changing my environment based on different things I'm doing. So when I'm working, but then when I want to take a break, I need to go outside and get some sunlight.
That's wonderful.
And some fresh air.
Yes. That's a great one. So in addition to breaking up your day, you want to make sure you take care of your body.
Yes.
I know it's real tempting. It's real tempting to just stock up on the junk food and stuff when you get to go to the grocery store. I get it. I know.
I get it because I do it. I know I shouldn't, but what if I'm quarantined and I'm stuck and I got a sweet tooth?
Right.
You think I want to eat some lettuce?
I know. Get some
If it ain't
muffins,
chocolate
some donuts,
dipped lettuce,
chocolate
I don't
dipped
want it.
lettuce. That's
Look. Killing 2 birds with 1 stone.
You know what? I want some chocolate drizzled kale chips.
The little salt on top of that.
Wait a second.
Let's stop.
Okay.
See, why are we tempting ourselves? We're trying to get people tips.
I know. Okay. I'm sorry. Back to it. So the point is, it's tempting to get the junk food, but when you go to the grocery store, try to get healthy foods.
Mhm.
Get some of them fresh vegetables if they're there, because I know sometimes it's few and far between.
I know.
But
Go frozen.
yeah,
I've
get
been
the
going
frozen.
frozen.
I've been doing that too. But yeah, so another thing you could do is take care of your body. During this time, it's really tempted to eat really junky food. So make sure that when you go to the grocery store and you do your little shopping for your essential goods, try to get something healthy, some vegetables, be they fresh or frozen. Get plenty of sleep. Just because you might be working from home and you can stay up all these long hours and just roll out of bed, that doesn't make that healthy.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're getting your, 6 to 8 hours? Is that what it is? Or at least 8?
I thought it was 8 to 10.
Oh, 6.
But who has time for that?
That's
Who
a
got
lot
time
of
to
sleep.
My God. That's
know.
like a whole work day and overtime.
It is.
Let me get another job.
They don't pay me to sleep.
Right?
Unless you're getting passive income.
Right.
That's a whole nother thing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have an episode on that one day. But yeah, so get plenty of sleep and exercise. Take care of your body by exercise, and do not become a couch potato sitting around all day just because you're stuck in the house. There are plenty of ways that you can move your body, whether it's YouTube videos on exercise and yoga and Pilates and boxing. There's other things on, the cable on demand and stuff like that you can get into. Or if you have some old DVDs from back in the day when you wanted to work out and all of a sudden you threw them in the drawer and forgot about them, pull them back out and just get your body moving so that you can take care of yourself on all levels. That could also include some indoor workouts with outdoor workouts as well. Sometimes you can still get around and walk outside if you're not completely on, lockdown.
Yeah.
So practice meditation. These are also good things.
Yeah, practicing meditation. Now, you know my story about meditation.
I know. That's a wonderful story. Make sure you go to fulltimeblackwoman.com to check out that story on Isha's experience with meditation. It was a wonderful thing to read.
Yeah, most definitely, guys. And as we go through these tips, make sure you go ahead and rate and review. If you love what we're doing here at Full Time Black Woman, go ahead and rate us on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcast, and make sure you subscribe and tell someone else about this show that you think, hey, you can actually learn something from this. Or, hey, they're dropping some gems. So make sure you let people know about Full Time Black Woman.
Hey.
Yeah. So the next step is to stay connected. Now, during these times, we are stuck in one place, or we're told, hey, limit your your traveling and everything else.
Yeah.
And you're used to being a social person. You're used to being around friends and family on a regular basis, but you can't because you might get that Rona.
Right.
So, and you want to play your part in making sure that you're staying safe and those that you love are being safe as well.
Yeah.
Stay connected. We have all this technology nowadays where you can video chat, you could send text messages, phone calls, on social media, just making sure that somehow, some way you don't feel alone. Because that's really important when you're used to being running the streets and you can't run the streets anymore.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Exactly. And, in line with that, you might have friends or family that just don't do well when they're stuck in the house and stuff like that. So check on them.
Yeah.
If you're not doing it just for yourself, do it for the people that you care about. Because sometimes those people will be hesitant to reach out for whatever reason. Maybe they're anxious about it. But make sure you check on them too.
Yeah, and I definitely know this actually has been a blessing. I know hard for some people to deal with this,
Yeah.
you know, being in the house and everything. But I would have to say it's been a blessing because now I have that extra time that I didn't have to worry about using for commute or using all that extra time just doing hustle and bustle and running. Got to get this, got to get that down, or at least feeling as if I have to do certain things.
Mm-hmm.
That I can stay connected with people I haven't talked to in forever.
Yeah.
Now we all had a time to just sit our asses down.
I know.
And just contact each other. Like I've been talking to a lot of my cousins that we grew up together. We've been close our entire lives, but then we became adults and we kind of just, you know, because you got a life to live. I got a life to live. You got children. I got children. You're traveling. You got to work and everything else. Life gets busy. But for this, we're actually able to, okay, hi.
Exactly.
I remember you.
How you
we grew
doing?
up together. We used to get our diapers changed together. How's that been going? Are you out of diapers? Because I am. I don't know what, you know, so we're able to
train now.
Yeah. It's time for us to reconnect. And I actually am, have been loving it.
I have too. I agree. I think that's a wonderful thing. Another thing that you can do to practice self-care during these corona quarantine times, limit your media intake. This is hard sometimes, but because it's everywhere. But try to stay informed about the situation via reliable sources. Like, don't just go to your Instagram or your Facebook feed and look at everybody's statuses and be like, ooh, this is happening. Ooh, that's happening. Stay with reliable sources, but just make sure you limit it so that you don't become overwhelmed by the situation, that you don't become fixated on the spread or the number of those who have passed or whatever the case may be. Like, don't become fixated on this so much that you kind of paralyze yourself and stress yourself out. It's good to be informed. You don't want to scare yourself into submission.
Yeah. I totally agree with that. Because first of all, I've always limited my media intake.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of hearing about the Kardashians. You know, like, when they start talking about the Kardashians on the real news.
Yeah, that's a problem to me.
I was like,
I really don't care.
Yeah, I can't do this. Why are we talking about the Kardashians on the nightly news?
Exactly.
The evening news.
Right.
The real news. Now, some of those little morning shows and stuff like that or whatever. Or the little fake evening news shows. But the real news?
Yeah.
We went from 9/11 to the Kardashians? No. So, yeah.
No, yeah.
I like to limit my media intake, but I agree with everything you said.
Thanks.
Be informed. So, the next thing you do during this corona cabin fever to combat it.
Oh, Jesus. Yo, Isha just TKO'd her tablet. That's a blooper. There's a blooper. You guys watching right now, this is for you.
Oh my goodness. So make sure you guys go check out this video on our YouTube channel, Full Time Black Woman, to see how I knocked the hell out of that tablet. I'm too animated.
It's okay.
Oh goodness. All right. So the next thing you can do other than limiting your the next thing you can do other than limiting your media intake is to fight boredom. You have to fight the boredom because if not, you go somehow, some way, contact an ex. You may end up getting in some beefs with people because you ain't got nothing to do.
Right.
So you need to use this energy towards something and you refuse to use it towards exercise and bettering yourself.
Yes.
So you may end up getting into some negativity, you know, or overeating, like as you stated before. Instead of eating healthy stuff, maybe you do want some sweet every once in a while, but you want sweets and nothing else. Just want to overly indulge.
Right.
So fight boredom. Make the most out of catching up on TV series. I know I've been doing that because I rarely have time to watch TV.
Yeah.
Maybe before all this started, I was watching maybe an hour or 2 hours of TV a day.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Now I've watched the entire series.
I know. I have too. Series. These streaming services have really been capturing me with some of these series out here.
Yeah.
It's been wonderful.
Or reading, you know, I'm definitely saying for years, I want to start reading. I kept pussyfooting around about stuff. Is that country too? Pussyfoot?
It is. Yeah. But I like it though. I heard nothing wrong.
Oh, okay.
It made sense to me.
I was pussyfooting around about reading and stuff, but now I'm actually reading. I'm like, I'm loving it. I'm like, why did I stop doing this? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, college did kill my love for reading. Yeah. I used to read all the time when I was in middle school and high school, and then I got to college and they were like, oh, you're gonna read this whole book tonight.
For why?
I got to read this whole book tonight. I'm like, okay. And after college, I stopped reading.
Yeah.
So I'm glad
Look
I'm picking
at
up the
you.
books again, blowing the dust off of them.
Look at you. It's
Reading
reading
Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. I can. You all know the lyrics. Go anywhere.
Anything.
Ain't
I don't
go
know.
anywhere.
Take a look. It's in a book. A reading rainbow.
Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow. It's too many.
I don't know.
Too many riffs. Is that what it's called? No.
Like a 90s R&B singer. Yeah. You got the chin wobble. 'Cause you know.
So y'all see how we really be cutting them now with these videos.
Dang.
You can explore projects that you have been putting off to beat boredom and stay mentally active. You have to use the brain.
Yes.
If you do not use the brain, it turns to mush. You ever notice if you're watching a lot of trash TV, every once in a while you like to just
dabble in it.
put your toe in it.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh, this is kind of great. This shit kind of good. And then
Yeah.
you're like, if you stay too long, you're like,
Oh
What
my
the hell
God,
am I
what am I doing? What happened to me? I was so smart.
exactly. You start talking like
Yeah,
that.
it's a mess. It's a mess.
Look, I had a friend and she knows exactly who she is.
Mm-hmm.
One time she moved to a new city and she really didn't know anyone. So she would stay in after work and on the weekends.
Okay.
And she would watch The Wire.
Oh, jeez.
She watched the entire series in like a month or something like that. Now, you know, that's years
That's a lot.
and years. And
Yes.
she would watch nothing but The Wire. She watched the entire thing.
Oh,
I would
jeez.
call on her phone. She started talking like them.
No.
I'm like, what you doing? Psh, girl, I've been watching the show. It's called The Wire. And then also, and when I'm not watching The Wire, I'm watching Gangland.
Oh, jeez. It just went from one to the next. She just submersed in it. What in the world?
And eventually her speech started to change because that's all she was hearing.
See.
I would joke with her like, you're like a baby. Anytime you hear something that you're not used to, you just somehow
Yeah.
grasp onto it. But yeah, don't be boredom in that way. Be boredom in a productive way, if possible.
Yes. Another way to avoid, another way to take care of yourself during these corona cabin fever times, avoid burnout. Now, again, working from home, when you don't set a routine and you don't break up your time, it's really easy to get really zoned into what you're doing
Mhm.
and just next thing you know, you start at 9 and you look up and it's 9 p.m. and you haven't eaten, you haven't slept, you haven't rested, your eyes strained, everything. So make sure you set strict limits to your work to avoid becoming overwhelmed. You don't want to get so zoned in and stressed out over it that you burn out. So you have to take the time to rest your body. You have to take the time to eat. You have to take the time to take care of yourself in this way so that you actually unwind from work as opposed to being laser focused just on that. And I'm pointing to this like it's my own laptop. Like, but
I mean, but you know your personality. You know, some people know I'm the type of person that I become obsessed about things. I, have a compulsive. Go ahead, put it up a little higher.
Yeah.
So you can't burn out. So you definitely don't want the fact that now you're working from home to add fuel to that fire.
Right.
Look, when I was in the office, I started on time. I left on time.
Yep.
Now that I'm working from home, I'm starting on time.
Yep.
And I'm signing off on time.
That's right.
Do not allow that to take over, because then you're not going to have energy to do all these things that you say, I'm going to read this book.
Right.
I'm going to start this project.
Yes.
I'm going to contact my friend I haven't talked to in years, but I love her so dearly. You're not going to have the energy to do those things. And then you're going to fall down into a hole.
Yep.
And it's just going to be hard to get out of, because we don't know how long this is going to last.
Right.
So we have to adapt in a positive way to it versus just going with the flow and letting it carry you.
And but in addition to that, when you set those limits and stuff like that, you also you're setting a boundary for the people that you work with too. So just because you're working from home now and you aren't signed on at 9 p.m., they can't think, well, let me ask her because she signed on at 9 p.m. so she could actually get this back to me at 10:30 p.m. if I need it. Now, if that's not your normal regular hours, you want to make sure that you have set a boundary in that way and set limits for yourself so that you don't have people all of a sudden thinking that they can reach you any and every time and get something done. So
if you guys want to learn about more tips about working from home, definitely go check out our last episode 14, Working That Work From Home.
Boom.
Because we are 2 work from home all-stars.
2.
All right. So if you want to know how the pros do it, just check out episode 14.
There you go.
So also you want to make sure you focus on the positives during this time. Corona, as you mentioned before, Elise, it's something we never had to deal with in our lifetime.
Right.
It's something our parents never had to deal with in their lifetime.
Right.
So it's just more so it's new to everybody, And it's easy to become negative. It's easy to just feel as though, oh my God, the world is ending or whatever. It's easy just to harbor on the fact that things aren't going the way you want them to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you have to focus.
Heard nothing wrong.
You got to focus on the positives. Focus on the positives. The positives.
Okay.
I'm rocking
with it.
No, you heard something wrong.
I did. I did.
Yeah.
I had your back though. Just in case.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Elbow. Because I don't want that. Rhoda.
I wash my hands.
I believe her.
Stop it.
So you need to focus.
Winking at the camera, y'all. I know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Whatever.
Okay.
I saw it. The people on the video don't see it. Go ahead.
So, you need to, because I can't wink without my mouth closed. That's probably what gave me away, right?
Yes.
My mouth wide open. I mean, can you wink without your mouth? Close your mouth.
Yeah.
Anyways, see?
Light.
I need to focus on my positives.
Yes. You can wink with your mouth open. There you go.
Is that a positive?
It is today.
You need to amplify the good news.
Yes.
I mean, the good news, the stories, honor caregivers working tirelessly to resolve the situation.
Yes.
Be thankful for them that they are making sure that they stop that stuff as soon as they can and it doesn't spread, even to their family members. So we just want to thank all the people who are working against this corona to keep us safe. The doctors, the nurses.
Yes, thank y'all.
Yes, the grocery store workers, the bank workers. Who else is staying open? All the stores, the fast food places. And also if you need something to just keep you on a good level, journaling is something that I'm starting to do. I know you've been doing it for a while, Elise. Yeah. And just talk about the power of journaling for a second.
Okay. So I love journaling. I went ahead after a therapy session, I started keeping a pocket journal with me, and I set alarms on my phone for at least 4 times a day. Do I make it at all 4? Not all the time. At least 3 though.
But you're attempting,
Yeah, I'm attempting. So I will take some time to thank you. Thank you.
For y'all in the video, y'all just saw what I did. The rest of y'all go look at our video on YouTube.
Thank you.
She be mad. I don't care.
But yeah, so I check in with myself at least 4 times a day to see how I'm feeling emotionally, mentally. And I just write that down. And doing that, number one, helps me to recognize my feelings. It helps me to kind of focus on myself for a second as opposed to everything else around me. Gives me a quiet moment to think. Also, it helps clarify my thoughts because sometimes, when you're, especially a full-time Black woman, and you have many hats on, you're focusing on 50 different things at one time. And so when you actually, like for me, setting that alarm and it goes off and I see, self-care journal entry, then it's like, oh, okay, this is my moment. It doesn't have to be long. It's not like I take an hour to do this. It might be 5 minutes, might be 2-3 minutes, honestly, but it's just that time to check in with myself to see how I'm doing. I kind of focus on my senses. So what's around me? What am I hearing? What am I seeing? What am I feeling? What am I, smelling? Stuff like that. Just to center myself in the moment. And it's really helped a lot.
Girl, it's helping just hear you talk about it. I'm like, I want that. I need to start doing it. She's been telling me for a minute to start doing it, but now explain it.
It's really helpful.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, I try to do it at least 4 times a day.
And you focus on the positives while you're doing it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's times where like I will try, like especially if I can remember to do that.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's just about if I'm feeling a certain type of way, just getting that feeling out so I
Mhm.
can think about it, address it, and then move on from it, or at least have a clarity in myself so that I can know to move forward as
Mhm.
opposed to harboring it. But I try to also focus on, especially towards the end of the day, what I'm grateful for that day. So if something good happened, then I try to remember that and then
Mhm.
write a little bit about that. Or at least if I started out like rough in the morning and then towards the end of the day, I'm feeling better, then I try to be grateful to myself for that.
Mhm.
Like, good job. You made it through that day and you were able to think of something positive or do
Mhm.
something positive for yourself.
Now, do you go back to look at past journal entries? Like, say you're not feeling the best that day.
Sometimes.
Okay, 'cause
Sometimes.
I can see how beneficial that is.
Yeah, and it also helps to identify patterns. You know what? We're going to stop that right there because this is a whole nother episode. Y'all get some free content right now on a whole nother episode, but it's important and I want y'all to know. But at the same time, this is going to be another episode.
Oh
so.
yeah, definitely self-care because it's a series.
It is, it's a
this
series.
is the second part of our second
Yes,
self-care.
self-care.
This is the second part of our self-care series.
Yes.
So we have many lined up for you.
Right.
But thank you so much for talking about journaling
Yeah,
because
no
now I'm about to
problem.
start today.
There we go.
So the last thing that you can do to combat corona cabin fever
Yeah.
is take one day at a time.
Yes.
That's it. Just try not to project too far into the future.
Right.
Because like we said, we don't know how long this is going to last.
Right.
But we need to make sure that we are in the moment, just like you said with your journaling,
yeah.
in the moment and you're present
Yeah.
and you remember that these are temporary measures,
Yes.
you know, and you are not alone. We're all going through it.
Yes, exactly.
Every single last one of us across the world, not
Mhm.
just your city, not just your state, not just your country, the world
Yep.
is going through this. So
Yep. Yes. So, one day at a time, 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time. Just try not to, like Isha said, focus too far in the future. Just make it through the day.
yeah, and if this is your first episode that you've been listening to us, or maybe your first time seeing our YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and listen to the other episodes that we have to offer and stop by our blog, fulltimeblackwoman.com. As Elise mentioned before, we have a lot because we are a lot
Yes.
because we are full-time Black women.
That's right.
Subscribe, rate, and review.
Exactly. Because you're not alone. We are here for you because we are you.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes.
All right, y'all. This has been a lot of fun. It really has. And I hope that y'all got something from this and that you remember to check out all of our social medias, Full-Time Black Woman on Instagram and on Facebook. Also, the Full-Time Black Woman Conversations group, as well as FT Black Woman on Twitter.
Yes.
So remember, y'all, we are here for you full time from coffee to wine.
And remember to play your power perfectly.
Peace.
Bye.